Now, if we go here, do we get sound? Probably, maybe. But we also get a, because I put the sound on there.
Well, let's say hi.
Let's see if we get.
Hi.
Now we. Okay, well, this is exciting. No sound. Woo! Well, that is certainly annoying. All right. Now, if we go here, do we get sound? Now we're getting probably, maybe. All right, good. But we also get a, because I put the sound on there.
Well, let's say hi.
Let's see if we get.
Hi.
This is all from newly set up. Okay, well, this is exciting. No sound. Woo! There, good. All right. So now you can hear. Now we're good to go. All right. Yeah, I setting up, reformatted the whole computer drive, had to reset everything else up. And there we go. Now the doubling up should have stopped because I muted the sound coming out here, so there should be no more of that feedback. And we should be okay. Don't worry, that echo will go away in just a second, I think. I hope, if I'm predicting everything properly. Let's see. All right. And all right, there we go. Just watching the comments here, seeing how we're doing. All right. Good. Yeah, getting all these things set up and going is always fun in games. Okay, guys. So, as you can see, I am joined by my beautiful wife, Melissa.
Hello.
And I've also got the chat appearing in the window here for now, which is kind of fun. Not tried it before, which is why it's kind of interesting. But anyway, okay, good. Yep, no feedback. All should be well. Good, coming across loud and clear. Excellent. Little sound lacks a little clarity. Well, all right, that's exciting. I think the live stream's still going, but okay. Technical difficulties all around, but I think we are, see, people are saying hi to you now.
Hello.
Yep, and we got 7 in there for just a second, a little microsecond there. And let's see if I can raise this microphone so it's not cutting off your face.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, about time you noticed that. Okay, good.
That one's really way behind.
Right. Well, this is what they're actually seeing.
Oh.
And this is us in real time over here. So that's how there's a little bit of a delay in how it works. Yeah, if it starts buffering, by the way, refresh the page. And that should get you back on track. So, all right. Yeah, if it starts doing that, just refresh the page. At least that's worked for me. Okay, so here we are. Hey, everybody. Exciting times. First couple of days of spring. It's beautiful outside. We took a little walk today.
Yeah.
And all seemed well with the world. People were walking their dogs and driving around, and there was some interesting social distancing going on over at Micro Center. People were standing in line with feet.
They were only letting a few in at a time.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there we go. All good with a refresh. Excellent. Okay, good. All right, well, we're just going to proceed here. Now, I don't have a script or anything. I am more than happy to answer questions, but I thought we might just sort of chat today. This is me getting my computer back in operation because I had a total meltdown. And for those who don't know, I was bad. It was my bad. I did a bad thing and installed some software, or tried to install some software that I got on a download that I thought I could trust, and that didn't work. And ended up trashing my entire computer. So that was not fun. It was not, I can definitely tell you guys, this was not something from the church. This was not a fair gaming thing. This was my bad. And I'm just saying that so I can be, open and honest. It would be easy for me to blame this on the church or something, but that's not really what happened this time. So anyway, that's what happened there. But thank God I found, after taking my whole computer down and having to reinstall from scratch because it was just trashed, that I had backed up a bunch of stuff. Stuff that it was really irreplaceable, and I was really bummed. But I did get a bunch of stuff back. my library, my Scientology library of materials, my the notes and research I'd done on the tone scale and the metering videos and all that. So I did end up getting all that back, but I did lose the last 7 months or so of stuff. That was where I got my backups from. So anyway, oh yeah, somebody's saying I should get Malware Bytes. I'm seeing. I got it. I got it. It's on here now. And I'll be getting a little package of some other antivirus software tomorrow, actually, so as to prevent that from ever happening again. So yeah, that was definitely not fun. Anyway, both of us are here. I thought I've been dying to get Melissa back on to the channel here and in front of you guys, because I know sometimes you have questions for her also that we like to talk about. I'm not even going to pretend to keep up with the whole chat box here. I think Melissa's keeping a little bit of an eye on it, but she's not doing usual mod duties this time. But we're gonna do our best to answer your questions and stuff and proceed from there. I did want to throw a couple points out about COVID-19 and dealing with that. We are home. We are both home.
Yeah.
She's
My
now.
My job's letting me work from home.
Yep. And that's got set up, what, Wednesday? Started working from home?
They gave me the equipment Wednesday, and then I started Thursday, I think.
Right,
yeah.
right. That's right, 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's here now, which is really good because we were a little concerned. And as to what's going to happen, because I got to say, if you guys are, familiar with my views about things, I am really not happy with how some corporations and companies are dealing with this in not giving paid leave to people. I think
just firing people.
Well, that's the biggest thing. I think the scummiest thing that's going on out there, and you guys can, contribute to, of course, let me know what you're seeing. But I think this business of putting people at 0 hours, not firing them, just you're at 0 hours, so don't come in, is just awful, Now, I do understand that 99% of the businesses in the United States are small businesses of 50 to 100 people, something like that at the most. Not everybody. Oh, here's somebody saying they got fired.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know not all companies can deal with this with paid leave. Of course,
right.
many companies can't. But it's a little scummy to avoid the unemployment insurance.
Right.
By doing the
0 hour thing.
By doing the 0 hour thing. I think that's pretty messed up. Of course, that's from this position. That's from the position of the employees. I'm not a small business. Well, I guess I'm a small business owner.
But
I have
one employee.
It's me, So I'm it, So I don't have all that stuff. I don't offer health insurance. To me. So anyway, so I understand that there's also probably a lot of businesses that are not in a good place, and it might be slightly unfair to paint with too broad of a brush on this. I always try to whatever, but what is that? Grant Cardone fired 40% of his workforce without prior notice. Wow.
Whoa.
Damn, man. Well, guess he's going to be getting that unemployment insurance claims or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I don't even know exactly how that stuff works. But I just know that there's a lot of Americans right now and a lot of people probably all over the world, but my comments are mostly focused on the United States situation, that there's a lot of people who are living paycheck to paycheck. I think I heard today on Rogan's podcast, I think somebody said 40% of Americans are paycheck to paycheck. Wow. Could not. Don't quote me on that percentage, but there is a high percentage of Americans who would not be able to afford more than $400 allocation for something beyond what they are regularly budgeted to do. Right? They don't have the credit. They don't have the money in the bank account. It's just. Ugh. So anyway, so I know that there's a lot of worry and a lot of anxiety out there about this. I've been concerned about it for other people. I was concerned what was going to happen with Melissa, so I was ecstatic when I heard that she was going to be able to work from home, and they set her up with that.
Yeah.
So we're okay. on that. More than 40%, Chris. Somebody's saying 4 out of 5. Damn, I knew it was high, but I didn't know if it was that high. I always try to be conservative. I don't want to go, alarming people with too much stuff. But yeah, ooh. Scary in Germany. Many people Neos will suffer a lot. Yep. Yeah, we got some time. Actually, somebody just put a question down here. And if you could, during this particular live stream, I've never asked anybody to do this before, but she put question at the beginning of the comment. I think that'll help in us finding these things and answering your questions here. Let me go ahead and see what we've got. What is this now? There it is. What does that say? My eyes are just awful these days.
Does Scientology have any other drug programs besides the purification program, like where they fair game and mess with them mentally and make them believe they were crazy or are crazy?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Any other drug programs? Well, here's what I can tell you about drug handlings in Scientology that might answer this question. There are 3 places in Scientology where you're going to get drugs handled. The Purification Rundown. Oh, actually, sorry, 4. Purification Rundown, the Scientology Drug Rundown, which is a lower level service, the NED, New Era Dianetics Drug Rundown, which is something you do on the way to getting to clear, one of the last steps, and the OT Drug Rundown, which is OT4, which is confidential body thetan stuff. It's what you do right after OT3 is you do OT4, and that addresses past incidents on the back past, what they call the whole track in Scientology, and you address drugs from your body thetan's point of view. So I could go on for hours explaining how all that stuff is done, but it's a what's thought of as a deeper and deeper and deeper level of handling within Scientology of your drug past. So the purification program is supposed to detox you. It doesn't, but that's what it's supposed to do, so that your body is in shape to get auditing. The Scientology drug rundown just addresses drugs you've taken in the past by asking you to recall incidents where you took drugs and what problems did the drug solve for you and that sort of thing. And then the NED drug rundown is a lot more extensive, the Dianetics drug rundown, because that's where you get into running engrams of taking drugs. Like you get deep into reliving the experiences and going earlier, and finding things when you took drugs, 10,000 years ago, blah, blah, blah. So there's different levels of it. All of it pretty nonsensical, and other than recalling, perhaps finding, oh, hey, super chat. Thank you, Pixie Perfect. That was nice of you. Let me see what the note here says on that. Super chat's the way to have no question, just take my money. Thank you. Yeah, super chats are also a great way to send questions, though. Anyway, all of these drug handlings are nonsense. The only real good that you get out of it for people who have been drug addicts in the past or who have had drug problems is you take a fairly good look at what problems you were solving with drugs, if the drugs acted as a solution to a problem for you. That gets a pretty good look over, and that can be therapeutic. I can absolutely see a therapeutic value in that. But the rest of it, it's just fun and games nonsense. And really not so fun, mostly just nonsense. All right, let's see what we got here. What's that reviewed message? Oh, yeah. Yes, exactly. Different grades of bullshit. Yes. Take LSD, avoid the Sea Org, that's for sure. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, LSD is a disqualification for joining the Sea Org. It is the most serious disqualification. If you've taken LSD or what's the issue from Hubbard says LSD or its derivatives.
Like ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like ever. So
I can't join the Sea Org.
No, you're not. No, baby, you are definitely not joining the Sea Org. Yeah, so like angel dust, PCP, I think those are somewhat related. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know about the PCP part.
I think those are
Maybe
a
those
little
are different.
I don't know
It-
that those
with-
are hallucinogens as much as uppers.
I'm pulling that from my
I
Scientology
don't
experience.
I don't really know anything about PCP.
Yeah,
so-
I can't say for sure that that angel dust or PCP are derivatives of LSD, but in the Sea Org, that's how they're thought of. Anything I think that gives hallucinations.
Yeah.
That's one of the key questions they'll ask you is, well, did you hallucinate? And if there were hallucinations, then, away you go. Oh, hey, thanks, Joyce. Super chat. All right. Love hanging. All right, let's see here. Having your voice. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, got my big, thick reading glasses on here because I can't even see the screen anymore. What does it say on my hoodie? It says, fish naked, show off your pole. That's what it says. Got this in at Santa Monica Pier last time I was out in California. And let's see here. Oh, my previous question was comment for do they go after people that never been in Scientology? Of course. No, the only drug handlings that are done through Scientology for non-Scientologists is the purification program or the Narconon program, and which is a whole survey of stuff. I'm actually going to have, hopefully we will. One of the 3 podcasts that I lost when I lost everything on my drive was a podcast interview I had done with Lucas Catan, Caton, Lucas, who, I'm always butchering people's names. It's so awful. It's awful how I do that to people. Anyway, Lucas was formerly the head of Narconon Arrowhead Lake and in Oregon, and he had a lot to say about the whole subject. So hopefully, I've two of the people of the 3 that I've reached out to say, "Ooh, I lost it. I suck. Can we do it again?" 2 of them have said yes, and I'm waiting to hear back from Lucas. So hopefully, we will be able to put that back together again. All right. Let's see here. Leaves going out to vote for Bunker and Hubbard. What is this question?
Braves
What will the
going
church
out.
do to stop Bunker Hubbard's anti-Scientology downtown plans? Oh, basically what's going to happen with Mark Bunker. I'm not exactly sure. I'm absolutely positive that with Mark Bunker running for city council in Clearwater and now having won a seat on the city council, there is definitely a program at the Office of Special Affairs with Mark Bunker's name on it, which means there's a piece of paper with a series of actions to take to ruin him utterly. And that's, of course, what they do. So, of course, that exists. And what it says on it, I don't know, right? We can only conjecture. But they're definitely going to be throwing a bunch of landmines his direction in trying to deal with him now being on the city council, because he's going to be a major voice for reason, in Clearwater, finally, in Clearwater's government, I guess you could say. So let's see here. What does this one here say?
What about religious groups closing places whilst claiming their gods will save them from corona? Do you have thoughts on what's going on with your experience in the Sea Org, brainwashing, etc.?
With groups closing places while claiming their gods will save them. Yeah. Well, faith is a two-edged sword. Faith can provide hope when there is no reason to hope, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But it can also provide false hope, which, of course, is a bad thing, right? So we have this, context is king, and with that, as is each individual and how seriously they take their faith and how far they're willing to go or what they're willing to do because of it. So, it's kind of a broad question. My own experience, Sea Org-wise, is that you can, the problem with this comes in where people are being reckless or where they're taking chances they shouldn't. What comes to mind right away is Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Right, apparently Hobby Lobby, I saw some letter that they're staying open.
Yeah, they're staying open because his wife had a vision from God.
Right. And she's the prayer leader, he said, I think, in his letter for Hobby Lobby. And this is a CEO of a major corporation sending this out to all of his employees as though this is a sensible thing to do, to tell all of his employees that his wife is the prayer leader, and they had a vision. So rock on, right? So I tend to take a rather dim view of that kind of thing. And what I can say from my Scientology experience with that and Sea Org experience is that, that's the dark side of faith, because then you don't use masks, you don't use gloves, you don't even take.
'Cause God will save me.
That's right, exactly, because God will save me. And of course, I think my attitude towards that would be, God helps those who help themselves. I don't think God takes that direct, intervention in people's lives, What's this one here? Any upcoming? Oh, 3 apostates from Islam. Yes. Okay. So somebody's asking here, any upcoming episodes of the 3 apostates? Would you ever invite another apostate from Islam to join your panel? Yes and yes. I would love to find a former member of Islam to talk about this, preferably somebody who's out there actually doing that work, right? Who's got a channel and is putting stuff out there. I think that would fit quite well with our 3 apostates, and we can turn it into 4. That would be awesome. Yes, there will be more episodes of that. I just have to arrange them. All right, what else do we got here? What's this one? Oh, this one here.
I was young, about 15 years old, and a Scientology body router was trying to make a stress test. What would have happened if I went in and they found out how young I was?
Oh, that you were, how old is that again?
15.
15 years old. Okay. They'll do the stress test on you. They will have teenagers or, young people walk in. I mean, if they have kids run into the org, they're not going to do that. But they would definitely do stress testing on you, try to sell you a book. They wouldn't have any qualms about trying to sell you a book, trying to get you on course. And then when it came time to, oh, you're 15. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're going to have to talk to your parents because there's some legal documents that you're going to have to sign in order to get onto service. And we're going to need their signature. So that's when that conversation would begin. All right. What else we got here?
Oh, Alex is on.
Oh, hey. Great. Alex. Hey, man. Q. Yeah, there he is. What did he say? Hi from quarantine. Thinking that you would be lucky to be here in Spain before this disaster happened. Yeah, indoors till mid-April. Yeah, probably might be longer. We're gonna have to really hunker down, man. This is gonna be a bit of a haul, guys. It really is. I wish it wasn't. I hate even saying stuff like that or asserting that kind of thing because it's just bad news. Nobody wants to believe you.
Right.
Nobody wants to have anything to do with it. Denial is not just a river in Egypt. But this is what it is. I've got a couple pieces of advice and some things I wanted to talk about with that, which we'll get to. But I would definitely do want to keep up with your questions also. What's this one? Why wasn't Scientology more organized with Clearwater voting? Saw no busing of Sea Org publics to polling sites. Epic fail on their part. Yeah, do they? I don't know. I doubt they don't do mail-in out there in Clearwater. I don't think in Florida, but apparently they found we come to learn. Aaron Smith-Levin was actually tweeting about this right after Mark won a seat on the city council. That it was like 2,000 or 3,000 Scientologists. Like that's the representation. Which is quite interesting because I was actually under the impression that there were more Sea Org and Scientologists there in Clearwater, but maybe not. Maybe it's actually a lot smaller than we've even imagined. Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Dying for a Scientology musical. Oh my God, yes. I still have to see Book of Mormon.
Dianetics. You can call it Dianetics.
Oh my God.
You should make that.
I should. If I knew how to write music.
Well, you just find someone to write the music, and then you
write the lyrics.
Other part. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should do something. I should see Book of Mormon and get inspired.
Yeah.
I should do that. I should totally do that. That would be there. Oh, there
would be on a hate list for sure.
Oh my God. There was, by the way, I don't know if you guys know about this, out in LA for a number of years. I don't think they still do it, but there was a very special Scientology Christmas or something, which was a show that was put on by non-Scientologists about Scientology. Oh, hey, super chat. Fancy schmancy. Thank you. Hey, Chris and Melissa, love your videos. Really like it when you have guests. Do you have any more planned? Also, any way to put a signed copy of your book? Okay, great. Yes, I have interviews coming like almost every week on my podcast. You'll definitely be seeing more of that starting this week. And do I have it? How do you get a signed copy of my book? Send me an email. Give me your address, and we can arrange a. If you send me $20 or $25 or whatever on PayPal, and I can send it to you directly with a signature and a little note or something. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Scientology musicals. All right, what else what would Melissa like to ask?
Ask Chris.
I think Melissa's asked me most everything she's wanted to. Auditing the musical, yes.
I'd like to ask how we get this Dianetics the musical up.
Yes, right.
How do we do that? Carol's knows a bunch of people that do music.
Oh boy.
Morgan does too.
Oh, that's true. Morgan might have some advice for me about writing for the stage.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking here, Robert's asking, are you following the drama between Reckless Ben and Mangotology? I am not. No. I have, I try so hard to live a drama-free life, which is impossible as a YouTube content creator and former Scientologist, but try to keep it to a minimum, and especially any Mango drama. It's completely boring to me. So I don't know what the cause of the conflict is. I support Steve Mango in what he's doing and speaking out against Scientology. Let's be super clear here, right? I don't have anything against the guy personally. And I also, of course, as you've heard, I totally support Reckless Ben and Mike and what they did. I thought their videos were amazing. A little silly towards the end. They got a little bit weird. But that was one of the best pranks I have seen. That Scientology sucks thing that they laid on all the buildings was awesome. Completely non-harmful, non-abusive, and a great way to make a point against Scientology without breaking the law too, which was awesome. So I thought they did great with that. I don't know what the drama's about, and frankly, I probably don't care. What do the Gaytheist says? What do Scientologists believe about miscarriage? Oh God, all kinds of things. Basically, David Miscavige is viewed. I'll give you a serious answer to the question. David Miscavige is basically viewed as the revered leader.
No, I think they mean actual miscarriages.
Oh, miscarriages?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm so used to David Miscavige being called Miscarriage. Okay, so what do Scientologists believe about miscarriages? It sucks. There's sympathy for the mother. If that's what's wanted and that's appropriate for the situation,
Mm-hmm.
there are some expectant mothers who want a miscarriage, and that's not bad news for them. But, it's not like it's an ethics thing or something. I think it's pretty much viewed as an unfortunate circumstance. I definitely knew women in the Scientology who had miscarriages. Some even very close to me, not my ex-wife, but people that I knew in Scientology, and it was sad. It was like, aw, kind of a thing. All right. I remember you, and I was the Theory Soup in LA Day. Oh, cool. If I saw your picture, I'd probably remember you too. I'm really bad with names, but I'm pretty good with the pictures, with getting remembering somebody that way. All right.
Okay, Trey Parker and Matt Stone are going to write it for us.
Oh, there we go. That's the spirit. That's what we'll do. Hey, Preacher. Thanks for the super chat, man. Oh, it was great. This is great. Okay, what do we got here? Have you discovered how close the information in the handbook for pre-clears is similar to CIA? Oh, yes. Ultra. Yeah. Okay. People have asked me a couple times over the years about CIA, mind control, MK Ultra, some other manual I can't remember the name of right now, and Scientology tech, the TRs, the training routines, the Scientology mind control stuff. My answer on that, in terms of, the CIA has this and Scientology has this, and boy, these things sure look similar. there's a lot of groups out there, way more than I think a lot of people appreciate, that practice varying degrees of hypnosis and mind control. And there are only so many ways that you're going to get inside somebody's head. There are various mechanisms we know about that you can take advantage of. There's trance induction. There's, through all kinds of different ways. There's many, many, many ways of inducing trance. And then when you get somebody into a trance, well, what do you do with them, right? That's not the only way you control people's minds either. There's language trickery. There's, all kinds of psychological tricks you can pull with people to get them thinking you're doing one thing when in fact you're doing something else. Misdirectors, stage magicians are masters at this stuff, and they often dish on it, which is where you can get a lot of information. People like Darren Brown gives some interesting information. Even he's not really fully upfront about what he's doing, but at least he gives some insight into what manipulation is all about. And so I think that there is not any kind of inside connection between Scientology and the CIA. It purely coincidental as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the CIA is overseeing Scientology. They didn't replace L. Ron Hubbard with a body double in 1972. They didn't put David Miscavige in to run Scientology so they could have the OT levels so they would know how to do remote viewing. I mean, there's so many conspiracy theories. None of that stuff is true as far as I'm concerned. All right, malware in Clearwater. Do you consider that safe? Yes, Malwarebytes is totally fine. They might happen to be in Clearwater, but they're not a Scientology company as far as I know. I would not have any problem endorsing Malwarebytes to anybody. What is this question?
Do you have the issue of kids gathering in large groups regardless of the danger? This is an issue here in Germany, and their idiocy may get us a lockdown.
Yeah.
Well, spring break in Florida, they had to finally shut down because no one was going home.
That's right. And yes, we do still see that level of stupidity around all through the United States. Mm-hmm. Locally, sure, yeah. It seems to have been pretty, Colorado, I don't know. From what I'm hearing, we watch local news every day. I try to pay attention to what's going on locally, even more so than when I'm paying attention to Trump or the federal stuff. I've pretty much quit watching Trump at all. Because the last two press conferences I've seen him do, and apparently he's doing one right now, but he just issued blatantly false information. So I've just said, look, just stay away from the guy. Dr. Fauci, I trust. He's the only voice of reason coming out of the White House right now that I can see. Okay, so as far as kids hanging around and stuff, we've seen a little bit of it. Yeah. And knowing America, my prediction would be that, yeah, we're probably going to have more lockdowns. I think that is what's going to happen. There's this really weird thing with human beings. It's an easily observable phenomena that we don't pay attention to things unless they're right in our face.
Yeah, if it's not affecting me, then what do I care?
Yeah, exactly. I honestly believe that is a reflection of the stresses of society to a degree that we don't give ourselves the time or latitude to think things through a little bit before we, engage. But there's also fight or flight, and it kicks in so fast. And there's the opposite of fight or flight, which is the denial. And that also kicks in just as fast. So, because people don't want to be bothered. They don't, they're stressed. They've got a lot of things that they're doing, and they don't want to get derailed from those things. And so it's easier to just put up a false denial and think, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I'll be fine. Everything will be cool. There's an endless array of thought-stopping cliches people use, and young people have been using the kind of they've been using the information that it only affects older people or people who have pre-existing conditions, because that's what we were hearing at the beginning. But we weren't hearing that at the beginning with the idea that, okay, so everybody under 20 gets a pass or everybody under 25 gets a pass, and you guys can just go do whatever you want. That was never the message. But people of that age would take that message and run with it, right?
You're going to go spread that all around to your grandma.
Basically. And of course, young people don't really think so well about other people. They mostly are thinking of themselves. Another point, which I thought was a real good one, that I heard recently is, of course, the fact that people under 25 also have brains that are still growing. They're not done figuring out with this. So they act like they're not done. They act immature, right? Stupid. So, that's also a little bit of a factor as to why young people in general can kind of, and I'm talking in broad strokes here, okay? There's always exceptions. I'm sure there are young people watching this right now who are like, well, I didn't do that. Of course you didn't. I'm not saying every single young person is going to go fly off the handle, but that gives them that, it's easy to twist facts around when you have a vested interest in not paying attention to rules, guidelines, or authority, which is what pretty much defines young people. Older people too, if they grow into bad habits, I guess. Yeah. But you kind of, I don't know. For me, as I've been getting older, I have been growing to appreciate rules more. A little bit. Again, context is everything. Hey, thank you, Fluffy Bunny Slipper of Doom. Awesome super chat. Thank you very much for that. All right. So, this was the thing. This was actually one of the points I'll bring up right now, since we were just talking about young people and COVID-19 and all that, is I think we'll get a lot more traction if we start maybe thinking with we, not me. This is something we need to promote, I think, and push down. It's a real adjustment for a lot of people to think outside of their own heads. But if we start solving problems from the point of view of we rather than me, in a general sense, and specifically with COVID-19 and this outbreak and how we're dealing with it, and if we start thinking with, okay, I'm not feeling good right now. I'm not sure what to do. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I am sitting here in my apartment, home, with or without my family, but I'm feeling this way. What should I do? Well, one thing you can do, and this is not like the universal solution for everybody, for every situation, but one thing we can do is we can think, well, what can I do for somebody else right now? Yeah. Even if it's a phone call or a Zoom chat or going out on the balcony and saying, hey, everybody, or whatever. I mean, obviously don't be crazy, but, but, if you look at like what the Italians are doing and what the Spanish are doing, going out on their balconies at 7 or 8 o'clock at night and singing and playing violins and doing aerobics. I mean, they are doing amazing stuff as a community, as these little ad hoc communities of people who've probably never even given each other the time of day before. And that is a very, very healthy way of dealing with this, We're doing Zoom chats now. We're doing virtual meetups and stuff. We watched a movie the other night. Well, last night. We watched Killer Sofa. If you guys want to, oh my God, it was awesomely bad. It was craptastic. It was so good, so bad. But if you want the collection of like some of the worst movies ever made, Amazon Prime will hook you up. Absolutely. I've been tweeting out looking for more suggestions of what else can we watch, but there's some really good stuff. What you do, by the way, here how you do this is you go start with Killer Sofa. I'll just say that. Go look up Killer Sofa on Amazon Prime, and then go to the recommended movies underneath it when you go to that one, and there will be tons. What was that Frank Stallone one? I can't remember the name of it. Frank Stallone was in a movie in 1989 where he was basically trying to be Rambo. He plays a character named Hack Stone. And I think that was the name. And he's defending America or something. I mean, there is some really craptastic stuff out there. So go for that. But anyway, as far as getting back onto the help thing, I really wanted to put that out there that it is we, not me. That's what we need right now. And if I was going to say there was one thing we could do, it would be that, Okay, so, see people commenting about what's going on in India and stuff too. I haven't even seen that. Yeah, these are great. Oh man, Montreal singing Leonard Cohen tonight from balconies. That is just awesome. See, this is the kind of stuff I really want to concentrate on. In fact, let me give another. While I'm thinking about this right now, let me give another piece of advice, which is get the hell off social media for at least a good chunk of the day. Now, I'm not saying totally. I'm not saying you go out of touch with your friends. Obviously, use social media to be in touch with your family and friends, but maybe off the news. Maybe that might
Yeah.
be a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
I mean, just get the hell away from the news. I mean, there's on a daily basis, if you watch the half-hour daily local news, you're pretty much going to get the most important information you're going to need, because it's going to be local to you, and you're going to get the good and the bad, and you will get enough from the federal level that you'll understand what's going on at the US government without having to sit through a bunch of Trump's lies and nonsense, right? Because we don't need or want any of that. Unfortunately, in these kind of circumstances, the politicians are still the ones in charge. And, maybe this will open people's eyes up to the fact that we need a bit of a paradigm shift, that when there are catastrophes and national emergencies, that we put the scientists at the forefront, and they're the ones who are actually in charge, and they're the ones who are kind of calling the shots. That's problematic. You don't want to have unelected officials, making decisions for all of us. But at the same time, we need expert advice at times like this. And it's been, I was going to say refreshing, encouraging how much people have gone to and turned to science for answers right now. I mean, we highlight all the stupid people.
Yeah, yeah.
But really, it's a fringe.
Oh, yeah.
Most people are really, even the ones who get into the pseudoscience kooky stuff, even there are like going more towards science. Not everybody. I got some really stupid messages this morning from somebody whose name I won't say, but it was an ex-Scientologist who you guys probably don't know. Still pushing crazy, stupid stuff, if you drink hot tea and you can get all the viruses in your mouth to go into your stomach, and then the stomach acid will kill them, and then you'll be fine. It's like, guys, that's not how this works. So, yeah. All right, let's see if we got some more questions here. What is this one?
If Sea Org members got COVID-19 and ended up needing hospitalization, am I correct that they just dumped them at the hospital door and refused to take financial responsibility?
Yes. They won't take financial responsibility for them. Odds are that somebody's going to have to be seriously on the borderline of death. Like, they're going to have to be white and sweating and feverish and like coughing up a lung or something before Scientology will take that person to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to do a full array of assists and dumping a bunch of mega vitamins down their throats, and they're going to be doing they've got like hundreds of these assists. It's not just feel my finger. That's one, but they got tons and tons of these things, and they will use those and use those and use those until it's very, very apparent that it ain't working. And then if the person's on the edge of death, they'll probably take them to the hospital. But before that, they'll try to deal with it with Scientology. And since Scientology is a farcical bunch of nonsense, it's not going to really do much of anything for the person. COVID-19 is not a psychosomatic illness. It's not something that's going to be addressed by getting some auditing or by recalling, your evil intentions from 10,000 years ago. That's not going to do a damn thing for somebody who's got COVID-19. So, but Scientologists are basically too brainwashed, indoctrinated to realize that. What's this one say? How are the Sea Org?
How are the Sea Org getting toilet paper? It was always in short supply before.
Yeah, I know. They got money for stuff when they need it, kind of. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're fine with that. The whole base would purchase stuff in bulk, and if somebody on the base saw what was happening and thought ahead, then maybe they went in bulk supplied, but who knows? Who knows? Excuse me. What else we got going on here? we have any other missed questions from above here. Oh, what's this one? Have any companies run by Scientologists using the tech been sued by all non-Scientology employees? Are there options when they push it? Oh, yes, there definitely are. And yes, lawsuits have happened with public Scientologists. There have been chiropractors and I think a vet. Definitely chiropractors, more than one. And dentists. There have been a couple dentists who have pushed Scientology on their non-Scientology employees and gotten into trouble for it. You know, they tried to send them to Clearwater. They tried to do courses locally through Sterling Management or through the local orgs or however they were doing it, and it's completely inappropriate, right? It's religious materials. It's forcing religion down somebody's throat, right, in a workplace professional environment, and so they had a case and they've won. I've seen civil suits won on that basis. So that was that one. And then what was this one? Oh, panic buying. Oh, yeah. Somebody's asking me if we've experienced a lot of panic buying where we are. It's crazy in the UK now, and I can see us going into a serious lockdown. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got panic buying. I mean, who was it? Well, we have King Soopers and Safeway.
Yeah.
Here and Walmart, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God, Walmart was out of toilet paper. I still don't think they've still restocked.
Yeah.
It was a little weird going into Walmart and you'd seeing those big ass shelves that they got, and it was just a whole row of nothing. That was weird. Oh, by the way, since we're on here talking about this, bidets. Get a bidet. I can't shut up about bidets. I bought one like 3 months ago and self-installed it here. It was easy. It was like $25, and man, we're saving all kinds of toilet paper here. We got a big thing, and we're still fine. So I'm trying to get you to.
I've been using it.
Okay, good. Totally. Yeah, good times. All right, what is this now? You still practice touch assist on your wife? Not as such, but you know. What's this question? Will the top of Scientology think knowledge of OT3 gave the world pneumonia?
Oh my God.
No, I think David Miscavige knows it's a bit of a joke. You know, they do think in terms of kind of karma. They don't use the word karma in Scientology, but it is a karmic belief. They believe in law of attraction. They believe in like The Secret kind of stuff. And on the negative side, they also believe that you got to get your comeuppance. But instead of it being a universal force or an invisible hand of God, it is instead you who actually makes justice happen for you. Because in Scientology, the idea is that you know when you're going off the rails. And so when you do, then you sort of spiritually course correct. And you do that by pulling in bad things happening to you. And so it's still on you. And that's how they kind of get to blame you for everything bad that happens to you, but at the same time insist that if you do anything against Scientology, then of course bad things will certainly happen to you. Oh, somebody's asking me if my book is available as an Amazon Kindle download. Yes, it is. You can get it on Amazon. In fact, that's pretty much the only place I sell my book is on Amazon. Yeah, plenty of toilet paper in New York City. All right, stay home as often as possible. Yes, definitely. We are homebound. We are homebodies right now. We're not going out hardly at all. You know, we're taking. Oh, except another piece of advice for everybody: get outside at least once a day, even if it's only on your balcony. But preferably get out and take a walk. Not in groups, obviously. Practice social distancing, please. But get out there and get some space. We are not meant to be in solitary confinement, especially. But even when we team up, it can feel like solitary confinement after a while, no matter how much you love the person. I'm not yet speaking from personal experience. We're getting along great. But, you know, things happen. And getting outside, getting your attention way out away from you, it works. It's a good thing to do. And I think it serves... I don't know. I'm just gonna say I think it serves instinctual needs.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't born within 4 or 6 walls. We were
No.
outside a
Yep.
hell of a lot longer than we've been inside.
Yep.
So I think it's just kind of natural state sort of thing for us. All right, what do we got here? How do OT3 and up make, what's that say?
Make sense of their need to prep for coronavirus at Big Blue, FH, and at home. Aren't they supposed to be free from all of that?
I've talked many times about PTSness, and any Scientologist at any level can get PTS, and they all know that. So, this is the thing about Scientology is, yeah, they have all these, you know, aspirations and goals and sky high. You're going to get this and you're going to get that and you're going to be cause over life and everything's going to be wonderful. But they've always got some sort of escape hatch or thing they can say or do to bring the real world like this in and have some explanation for it. Oh, he got the COVID-19. He went PTS. He's PTS. I wonder who he's PTS to. You know. So they've always got that to fall back on as a explanation for why they don't have all the superpowers they're supposed to have. Do you think David Miscavige, what's this one?
Do you think David Miscavige is in fear of COVID-19? I know he will not prepare the orgs properly. They still claim, come and bring all your friends to us. But will he try to hide?
Absolutely. In fact, David Miscavige does not have to particularly alter his own lifestyle very much at all right now, because David Miscavige's sphere of people around him is a tightly controlled thing. Nobody gets anywhere near him physically without him wanting that to happen. And he is by himself most of the time. He's got, well, I should say he can be by himself most of the time. He's got a whole entourage that serve him, and he will obviously keep them around and make them continue to serve him. But he's not going to have any problem isolating, and I'm sure that's exactly what he's doing at any of the number of houses, apartments, secret locations he's got around the globe to do that sort of thing. Oh, question for you.
What did you think of Chris's t-shirt? Oh, what do you think of Chris's t-shirt array? It's great. I'm always contributing to it, you know, for presents and birthdays and stuff.
Probably a third. Probably a fourth to a third of all the t-shirts I have, and I have probably about 60 of them.
Oh, he's got a lot.
Yeah, are from her at this point. So yeah. And what's this one here? Do you think
Do you think the quarantine will finally get Scientology Central Files
done? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's pretty ridiculous right now that that Scientology is still pushing for people to come in and do stuff. And I think you guys know this, but I'll say this just in case anybody's wondering why it would be that Scientology would still be pushing so hard for people to come into their orgs to do services, even now when we've got these lockdowns and these general situation of this crisis. And pathetically, and it is so pathetic that this is the actual reason for it, but I'm telling you, it actually is. It's stats. It's just statistics. It's a graph on a wall. It is no more significant than me taking this Post-it note and drawing a graph on it. This is how important that is in the real world. It's a piece of paper with some numbers and lines on it. But this is everything to a Scientology staff member and a Sea Org member, because they live and die by these pieces of paper with the lines and the dots on them. And that is why they are not heeding general good advice of the world at large and pushing so hard to bring children and adults into their orgs to do services. And they really do secretly believe, every single Scientologist really secretly believes that they are immune to it. On an individual basis, that's what they think. I'm not PTS. I'm not going to get sick. You know, and that's the kind of, like we talked at the beginning of the episode about faith. That's the That's the faith that Scientologists have. They would never call it faith, by the way, but that is absolutely what it is. What is this one?
How much of the total Scientology monies does Davey get to keep for himself per year? 10 mil or more?
Well, here's the thing about David Miscavige and his money is he can have as much as he needs or wants at any moment. David Miscavige has the power to walk into any Scientology organization anywhere, anytime, and say, write me a check for blah, and they would do it.
Wow.
Now, he doesn't have to do that, though, because his income, his needs are already met with church money. And then if he's got something he needs to do in order to show the IRS that it's not enormous, then he will get bonuses, commissions, and presents from the Sea Org on his birthday, at Christmas, whatever. He will get money and things sent to him by Scientologists all over the world. So he's in a position where he doesn't even have to collect a salary. I think he does, but he doesn't have to. He has anything he wants. He can figure it out. It's the whole system exists. This is the thing about Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard too, right? Is this whole structure was built to facilitate getting money and power to the top of the pyramid, to the one guy at the top, not the group of people at the top, but the one guy. First it was Hubbard, and now it's Miscavige. And so the whole array of Scientology is literally built to facilitate that happening. So that's how Miscavige has anything and everything he could ever want. Somebody's asking, is there an org in Kansas City? Yes, there is. In fact, I think they're opening or just opened recently their Ideal org. But yeah, they're there in Kansas City. Post-it note stats due Thursday. Yep. All right, what's this one here? How will Mark Bunker make sure Scientology doesn't infiltrate his office like they have
other enemy
orgs? Well, Mike Rinder happens to live in Clearwater, and Aaron Smith-Levin is working with Mark Bunker, and Mark Bunker is OG. I mean, that guy has been criticizing Scientology for a long time. I don't think Scientology is going to manage to hoodwink them that easily by infiltrating his office or his life, right? Yeah, I just don't. I think Wise, what is that? Wise Beard Man, I think is his name that Anonymous gave him. Anyway, I think he's going to be on top of that. They could do it, and they will absolutely try to mess with him in ways like that. But Clearwater's a fairly small place, and the number of and the Scientologists there, they kind of know who they are and that kind of thing. So I think he'll be okay. Let's see what else we got here. Scientologists in the front lines helping the soup kitchens and shelters. Yeah. Somebody says here, doesn't it warm your heart to see all the Scientologists helping at the soup kitchens and at the charities and shelters? Yeah, doesn't it? Where's Tom Cruise right now? Mm-hmm. Mr. I'm the only one who can help at the accident scene. We're the only ones who have the technology for saving the world.
Yeah, where are you?
He hasn't piped up once. I haven't seen anything from him. Not even, I've seen celebrities donating millions of dollars. Rihanna just gave like $5 million or something. Ryan Reynolds forked over a bunch of, and Blake Lively forked over a bunch of money. I've seen other celebrities giving money for stuff. And where's Tom Cruise?
Nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. Exactly. Well, folks, I think we've been at this for about an hour, which is our usual time for doing this. This has been very fun. I wanted to wrap up with a couple more little bits that I wrote on another Post-it note. Just the kind of advice I would give, as Mr. Critical Thinker guy. The most dangerous thing that we have going on right now is, in my opinion, and I'm not the first to say this, is not COVID-19, but our reaction and fear and panic over COVID-19. That is a more serious threat right now socially and to our society than the disease itself. So it is really important that we keep a level head and we try to keep the rational front part of our brain in operation as much as possible versus the more animal part of the brain, I guess you could say, right? It's very, very easy to become overwhelmed, to be full of despair right now, to freak out. These are uncertain times. This is when the old curse about, may you live in interesting times is talking about these times that we're in right now. And we have to deal with it. It's the situation that we've got. So the best possible way we have to deal with it is to stay chill, stay calm. Your body and the state of your body has so much to do with the state of what's going on up here. So it is really important that you keep things chill. And if you feel yourself freaking out, change your breathing. That's a guaranteed way to change your thinking, is change your breathing. Get some space. Have a support system if you can create one, or you have one already. Utilize it. Now is the time to utilize your support systems. And try to keep your decisions as rational based as possible, right? Because fight or flight's a real thing, and fight or flight is not about rational, reasoned decision making. It's about getting, some immediate response to the threat. But this threat is not something you have to be immediately freaking out responding to. It demands our calm, cool, collected response to things, right? So the practical advice here is use your breathing, use your body to control your mind, to keep yourself chill, keep yourself calm, and we will get through this, and a vast, vast, vast majority of us are going to get through this thing without any problems at all, except for the problems of isolation and the despair and the depression and anxiety that we're going to have to deal with. And we're here for each other more so than ever before. So let's be there for each other. And, again, let's think with we, not me. If you're having a moment, get some help, get some support. Music, by the way, can be inspirational. It can be mood changing. It can be life altering in certain circumstances. So use the arts, use the, music or something like that, even as a thing, right? There's lots of things that we can do. I'm totally putting you on the spot right now because I didn't prep for this at all, but do you have any advice on this line for people also?
Yeah, I agree with the keeping away from the social media, just trying to do things that relax you, watch comedies, just try to have as good a time as you can, try to, make the best out of it, make up games to play with each other or play old games that you haven't played in a long time. Just find a way to find something fun about it,
Yeah, exactly. Now is, by the way, I'm seeing some of the comments here. Now is a great time to catch up on my all the videos I've produced on my channel over the last many years. Now is a great time to catch up on all of those. There's a ton of content for you here, as well as other channels. This is also a great time to catch up on documentaries. If you hadn't get access to Ken Burns stuff, I think PBS opened up baseball as a documentary everybody could watch, but there are many others. Some of them are a little dark, the Civil War ain't fun to watch, but it sure as hell is damn educational. Same with, all of his documentaries. Anyway, so stuff like that, now is a great time to do that. And all these universities have opened up their libraries. NASA opened up their graphics library. There is a wealth of information on the net right now that's been opened up to help all of us cope with this thing. So there are resources out there for you guys, even when you're stuck at home or anything like that. So with that all being said, let's be there for each other. And you will hear more from me. I hope to actually get another live stream done this week. I want to prep for it and see if I can get it done. I've got a lot of interviews for podcasts happening this week, so it might not happen, but I really want to try to make that happen. So anyway, lots of content coming, guys. And in the meantime, let's just get through this. Thanks a lot for coming around, and I think I'm going to wrap up now. Bye-bye.